Someone once told me a morning conquered is a day conquered, and this could not be more true. You know what most people do when they wake up? The first thing they do, you probably do this too. You reach for your phone like the second you wake up. It's like 7 in the morning, and the way you start your day is by like checking notifications and scrolling through like Snapchat stories or whatever, right? You see, the way you start your day largely determines the outcome of the day. So if you start your day by going on your phone, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage for productivity for the rest of the day. When you start your morning off by making a bad decision, such as checking your phone, it makes you far more likely to make another bad decision after that. Like, for example, first you check your phone and you scroll through your phone for like 10 minutes in the morning, and then you go downstairs and eat like Pop-Tarts for breakfast, which is like another bad decision. And that bad decision leads to another bad decision, right? And you can easily see how this just spirals out of control, and this series of bad decisions just turns into a bad day. Fortunately, the inverse is also true. If you start your morning by waking up and doing like 30 push-ups without hesitation, then you're starting your day off with a good decision. So you're far more likely to make another good decision after that. So then you go downstairs and you have like 5 eggs for breakfast, and you can see how it's the same effect as if you started off your morning with bad decisions where you were spiraling downward. But now, since you started off with one good decision, now you're spiraling upward, right? Which is why in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to construct the perfect morning routine for you. And I'm not talking about some Ashton Hall, like dipping your face in like Saratoga water and like rubbing your face with a banana peel, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real morning routines that will actually benefit you and change your life. Before we get into stuff though, you have to understand, the optimal morning routine is not the same for everyone. My morning routine is wake up at 5:40 in the morning, hit some cardio, do a cold shower, and get ready for school, right? Chances are this is not the optimal morning routine for you, and you would be best to construct your own morning routine. The first thing you need to understand that is so overlooked with anybody giving morning routine advice is the morning routine starts the night before. If you wake up with 4 hours of sleep, your morning routine is already messed up. So the first step to the morning routine is going to bed at a decent time. Like, you probably should not be going to bed at 11 o'clock. Like 11 o'clock is like maximum like staying up late, right? The next thing you want to do to create your morning routine is to wake up early. This is almost essential because you want to get work done while everybody else is sleeping. Anything past 8 o'clock is not considered early, okay? You need to wake up before 8 o'clock. Now, the first thing you're going to want to actually do in the morning is the thing you want to do the least. For me, that's cardio. I absolutely hate doing high intensity cardio. I do not enjoy it. That is why I wake up at 5:40 in the morning on a school morning, and I go downstairs, I get on the exercise bike, and I do like half an hour of high intensity cardio because I hate it. But after I get that out of the way in the morning, I feel so good the rest of the day not having to worry about it. Now, it's good to start your morning with exercise, but it's more important that you get the thing you want to do the least out of the way first thing in the morning. Cannot stress this enough. This is the most important part of the morning routine. And honestly, if your morning routine is wake up and do the hardest thing on your list, you could just leave that there. That could be your entire morning routine. That is a great morning routine. And just get up and work. But after that, you're probably going to want to eat. So what should you eat in the morning? Well, probably nothing. If you're waking up and you're doing intense exercise, then yeah, you should eat something to replenish your body with like protein and stuff. But if you're waking up and you're working on your business, you should absolutely fast until like at least 12. The only reason you shouldn't fast in the morning is if either you worked out earlier that morning or if you're super duper skinny and you really need to gain some weight. If you're like 100 pounds and you look like you need to gain some weight, then yeah, don't fast, just gain some weight. But if your excuse for not fasting in the morning is that it makes you like uncomfortable or like you feel sick, then that's not a valid excuse. I promise you, you will survive without eating breakfast, okay? When you're hungry and you're doing work, your brain shifts into a whole other gear because that's a primal instinct inside us, right? When you can't find food, you work harder, right? Everything you previously believed about a morning routine is wrong. Everybody thinks a morning routine involves a series of steps like wake up, meditate, cold shower, go for a walk, eat like some like elaborate breakfast, and then it takes like, there's already 2 hours out of your day gone. The only thing you need to know to create a morning routine is do the hardest thing first. However, you do need to keep in mind, if you do the hardest thing first, you do put yourself at risk for overworking yourself So you do still need to make time for things like journaling, meditation, going on walks, stuff like that, to recover after you do the hard work. All I want you to do is to get out a piece of paper and write down your exact morning routine that you are going to do tomorrow. It should include waking up fairly early and getting the biggest task out of the way. I want you to write down what task that is and how long you're going to do that task for. You could schedule stuff after that, but the most important part is the wake up time and the task you're going to do when you wake up. If you do that, you've already completed like 50% of your day's work while everybody else is literally still sleeping. You've already gotten like miles ahead of them before they're even awake. And I'm sure you could just imagine how that compounds over time. When you do that every single day, you are going to be like years ahead of everybody else. You have no idea. So all you really need to take away from this video is that the only thing you need to do in the morning is get the hardest task out of the way. Good luck.